What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisan MC, clocking in a late one. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. So, I am just leaving, having some dinner in the theater from seeing Equalizer 3. So, excuse me. I'm on call, but thankfully I was able to, for the second time, what up, Dr. T, catch a movie while on call and not be interrupted while the movie is going on. So, figured I'd give my reaction to this because I almost missed the fact that it was coming out on the first of the month. Like, oh shit! But thanks to Torian, Torian Rain Reloaded for putting up a review today. I remembered that Equalizer comes out on the first. Today is the first. My days are all mixed up. I've been working too many days back to back. I'm forgetting what actual day it is and what day of the month it is. Be that as it may, I'm on call, and as soon as I realized what it was, I was off to the movies, finished up my work orders, and I'm off to the movies to see this stuff. And what I will say is I did enjoy it. The real question is, why did I enjoy it? I do appreciate Antoine Fuqua as a director and his long relationship now with Denzel of doing some good roles for him, even as people are starting to notice that Denzel is older. I don't really think that matters because he's a phenomenal actor. I can say this to Dr. Tiasan's point when I asked him about it, about not believing Denzel wouldn't be taking out these guys like this at his age. No, but I believe it a lot more than I do Queen Latifah kicking somebody's ass. Just saying. What up, cuz? That's Dale in the building. What's good, Dale? I believe it a lot more than Queen Latifah. I'm sorry. Linebacker running with two fucking footballs hanging over her chest. I like Queen Latifah, but that was some bullshit. That was some serious bullshit. So, what I liked up front were some of the trailers. Got a lot of horror movie trailers out the beginning of this, but out of the mix of horror movies, be it The Nun 2, which I am going to go see at the end of this month, or was it next week before? Which is the Ridley Scott movie Napoleon. Now, call it a felon. I don't know a hell of a lot about Napoleon. I don't. Name some of the feats, not all his ins and out of his character and all the rest of it. And I'm not saying Ridley Scott is a historian, that he's going to do it any damn real justice. He's going to make a movie. It might be kind of boring in some parts. It might be kind of slow. It's Ridley Scott. I mean, one of the reasons why you get into cinema and learning how writers write and directors direct is so when they put their name on the side of something and say, hey, this is a movie by Ridley Scott, you exactly know what you're going to get because you've seen enough of their work to understand, hey, this is McDonald's. The hamburgers are going to be ran over, but they make them really quickly. That's what it is. So you got to know that right up front. The Latifah Liza. Yeah. Yeah, Queen Latifah. Yeah. Dana. Oh, Dana Owens. Yeah. So the Napoleon movie is looking interesting to me. I actually want to see that. It looks like a lot of action and some of the stuff that they were depicting that I didn't know Napoleon actually did in warfare was like, damn, did he really do that to the motherfuckers? Like turning cannons on protesters and suckering another army in to try to take them out and blowing up the frozen lake that they were on. It's like, boy, that's a ballsy move. That's some shit. I need to see that. Let me see your reenactment. You know, historically embellished reenactment. Let me check that out because it might be kind of fun. You know, if you study warfare and stuff like that, you have to study Napoleon. He did some shit, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing that. The Nun too. Well, my cousin Dale is in here, so he didn't grow up on the Catholic side. We grew up on the Christian side. But fucking around with nuns, and then the other movie, The Exorcist Believers. I saw The Exorcist, I think, with Dale at that time. When I saw The Exorcist, I was staying in a Christian home. That shit was all too real. That shit was all too real. So I knew it was a movie, but it was a little bit too close to the bone. So a new Exorcist movie coming out. Yeah, that might be. I might be really interested in that. I mean, that's why I get into my Christian horror. That's why I get into my Christian horror because that shit is like, yeah, that's real. That's a real shit. But fucking around. But this movie was creepy. It's an Exorcist movie. I feel like I got to get it up because I've seen every one of those Exorcist movies except for what Exorcist Emily Rose or whatever. Just saying, that was the Christian upbringing, man. You don't fuck around with that shit. It's all too real. And I've been to Baptist church. And when they talk about getting the Holy Ghost, sometimes it ain't the ghost they get in you. So you don't fuck around. Some get in you, have you out on the floor, gyrating, frothing, and cussing and fussing and shit. So I don't know. It had an impact on me. I was young. So whereas I don't, at this age, I don't fuck with a lot of horror movies. We'll be going to see The Nun, and I might check out the Exorcism Believer, Exorcist Believers, or Believer. Sound like they're mixing up two movies to me because The Exorcist and The Believers are two separate movies from the 80s that are awesome to me. So putting those two words together in one title is like screwing it up for me because I know two separate movies. But be that as it may, the story for the Equalizer picks up in Sicily. And you got a guy rolling up on the scene like you've seen in the trailers of carnage, of all these people killed outside. And once he gets inside of the little winery or whatever, you're reintroduced to Robert McCall, the Equalizer, played by Denzel Washington, sitting in a chair with two guys in the room with guns on them. And the gentleman that has come down there to see what the fuck is going on in his winery, Robert McCall tells him is that, look, should have just let me in. Now, this is a bold choice in this movie to me. And I thought it would stop at some point, but it persisted throughout the whole movie, which was people are actually speaking Italian and there are subtitles on the screen for everybody who's speaking Italian. I kind of like that. Okay. There's two languages or three languages I really like. I really like the sound of. I really would like to know how to speak. Um, One is Spanish because I like Latino women. It's just a given. Help if you can converse with them in their language. Better if you can understand it. If you can't converse, it's better if you understand. Hear people talking shit about you all the time. This makes it really interesting to why you don't fuck with my cousin? Because your cousin ain't about shit. I heard what he said. Fuck him. Simple, right? But to be able to talk that shit to her, might be kind of fun. The other language is Italian. I like the way Italian sounds. I really do. I really like the way Italian sounds. It always sounds like not even some cool shit. Like you just not like French, like you trying to mac at some chick or something like that. Italian just sounds cool to me. And it's similar to Spanish in some ways, right? Which I'm still fine with. I like Italian women too. So 2 for 2 so far, right? Third one is Japanese. Japanese has a lot of emotion in it and how you say it, what you say, a lot of respect when you speak to people, right? And at least in the Romanji, I like the way the words are put together, that it means exactly what the hell it says. No subtext, it is what it is, right? And I like some of the sounds of it. So that's the other one. And find me a good Japanese woman. I like Japanese women. It is what the hell it is, man. I like languages. I like hearing languages. But those three would be ones that if I could learn, I would want to learn. Right? I tried Spanish a couple of times. I sucked at it. Okay, so maybe I had the right teacher. Be that as it may, the whole movie has subtitles for the Italian speaking parts. And it's mixed with English because all the actors who are Italian can have, they go back and forth like people who have dual languages do. Some stuff they say in their native language and other things they say in English, right? But what you also get is Denzel doing the same thing. He will respond to them in English, understanding the Italian, or he'll speak to them in Italian, right? He knows some stuff to say. So that makes it kind of cool, right? So I thought that was actually a bold choice because I know American audiences get pissed off and lazy when they have to read on the screen, like, subtitles, oh my God. I can't keep up. They go too fast. Like, I thought this was the same generation that watched anime. Sorry, I grew up learning how to read and learning how to read fast. So I don't worry about it, right? So much. So I thought it was a bold choice. What you have is the first fight scene in here. I'm trying not to make this a whole review. Maybe I should just make it a review instead of a reaction. So I'm not going to go back and make a review. But you had the first fight scene in it where Robert McCall is telling this guy he is some kind of, criminal. He is the one running this winery. He tells him, like, look, man here is standing too close to him. Because he's standing too close, that means your buddy ain't over here ain't got a chance. Well, I give you 9 seconds to decide your fate. That he came there for something. You don't know what it is. Yeah, but he came there for something. And the guy taunts him, telling him, well, you're meters away from it. Right? He figures out what the hell that guy's talking about and starts his watch. And sure enough, you know what the hell happens within 9 seconds. He starts fucking these dudes up. Like, no quarter. Now, one of the most shocking scenes that happens right in the beginning should not be a shock if you've seen the rest of the damn Equalizer movies, is something that he does to one of the guys. Now, it happens very fast, and it's gross. But the way it happens is kind of cool, right? But, like some other shit, I've actually seen it before. It is what it is. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go through this damn gate. Let me cover my. All right. So, first guy who has the gun too close to him, he grabs the gun and deflects it downward and away from him, pointed at the guy across from him. Which, since he grabs the guy freaks, tries to shoot, shoots his buddy. He is then disarmed of this, Magnum looking like a 44 Magnum or something that he has. He is disarmed of this weapon, and the barrel of the weapon is jammed into his right eye and applied with sufficient force to be forced into his cranium by Robert McCall hitting the butt of the gun through his head and then pulling the trigger. Now, that's shocking in the first, 10, 15 minutes of the movie. And I was like, oh shit, this is what we're going for. This is just what it's going to be. It's going to be graphic. It will be violent. It will happen fast. And you would be like, shit. Now, what happens next has been seen before, right? To me, it has been seen before. Because I've watched a lot of goddamn movies and television. Since the boss in this situation sees what happens, and he already told him what was going to happen, he freaks, he goes for his gun, and sure enough, Robert McCall grabs the handle of the 44 Magnum sticking through this dude's cranium, spins him around, uses his body as a human shield, and starts bucking shots at the boss and his compatriot, putting them both down. Now, it's gross. Some people in the theater was like, oh shit. But I saw it before. Didn't make this one happen and not cool, but I've seen it before. The movie I saw it before starred James McAvoy, and it was the Wanted movie. And during the main fight scene in the third act of the Wanted movie, Wesley Gibson breaks into a textile plant and starts taking on the rest of these, League of Assassins in there. And one of the dudes, the mechanic, who he really didn't like, who always kicked his ass, he has that 44 Magnum. And he's busting shots at him and everything else. And when they finally meet up to fight against each other, Wesley Gibson rams the barrel of the 44 Magnum through his fucking eye socket. Now, that's a pretty cool scene because he does not stop running. He just sits there and runs with this dude's body hanging off this pistol that he's still using to shoot and hit people through a hole in the back of this dude's head. Like, yuck, but creative. That was a fight scene you never thought you'd see. So that's kind of what it was for me watching this in the Equalizer. It's like, okay, this is cool, but I have seen it before. 1 second, you guys. I need to open this gate. 1 second. Oh. Thought I saw a UFO. It was just a cloud moving. All right. All right. Uno momento, so I can lock the gate again. Alrighty. Thank you guys for hanging with me while I did that. It is cold and it is windy outside. Cold and windy. All right. Be reminded to not take an hour doing this shit. There we go. Can't see anything, but you can still hear me. So, that one fight scene sets the stage for how things are going to be when the action happens in this movie. And after the movie was all over, I thought about it. The pacing of this with the fight scenes, there were fight scenes. Wasn't a lot of them because the story was not about the fight scenes. And I thought it was a really interesting way that this one went, in the fact that I was comparing it to John Wick. The last chapter of John Wick was all out action, right? All out action. The last chapter of Equalizer, which in some ways are similar characters, I felt more for Robert McCall being able to find his peace than I did for John Wick. Even though those two characters came into creation or into the theaters about the same time, same year, right? But she has big mama hips. God damn it, Dale. I just saw that comment. So while this movie has a different pace and you spend more time with Robert where he is, when the action happens, it happens, but it's not a lot of it. It's not. But it didn't make the movie bland to me. It just didn't. It didn't make it like, oh, well, I would like to see more killing. No, it actually had a sense of what was going on and getting you into the story about what's happening. So after this fight in the winery, Robert McCall goes to leave. And when he leaves, he passes by a vehicle, and the vehicle has a little kid in it. The kid that's in the vehicle is the boss's son, the boss that he just, dispatched downstairs. He has the kid get back in the car, and he turns his back and walks away from the little kid. The kid is about, 10 or 11. And sure enough, right before he's out of the frame, you hear a gunshot, and Robert turns around shooting, and he turns around, and the little kid has a rifle and has shot him in the back. Now, he doesn't shoot the kid. Kid drops the gun, runs off. But Robert is now injured. All this other killing that he did to get in this place, not a scratch. This kid got off a shot with a rifle and shot this dude in his back, in his lower back. So he's kind of messed up and shocked. And it's an interesting moment to where once Robert realizes that he is shot in the back, it was a kid that shot him. He goes to fall down, and you see him think about it for like half a second, and he puts his gun to his own head and pulls the trigger, but he's empty. So now he's sitting there like, well, fuck, now what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit the replay. Now I thought that was an interesting thing because he accepted right then he was injured and he was willing to kill himself right there. Not, look for medical attention to try to stop the bleeding. Then he was like, oh, I'm hit. Fuck it, I'm gonna kill myself. And then he has no bullets left to do it, which seems like a freak thing. Like, I think he would know how many bullets is in the gun because he count everything, right? If he can count how many seconds it's going to take him to kill you, I think he would know how many bullets is in that gun. And he just shot, right? But it's a really interesting moment. You realize he is not really worried about dying. It's not like he doesn't care. It's just it's something that he's just waiting to be able to take him. And I think for somebody like him who is so proficient at what he does or what that character does, he knows it's going to be hard. It's going to have to take a lot. He's ready for it. He'd probably want it, but they're going to have to be better than him to do it. And just ain't found that person yet. And I thought it was really interesting that he was willing to kill himself right there after the little boy shot him and he got hit. Something he could possibly live from. Now, what you get is him title sequence and everything else, and you find that he has, excuse me, picked himself up, left that winery, got on a ferry, and ended up in some other part of Italy, knocked out in his car where he is discovered by a passerby and taken to a local doctor to get patched up. And this spot that he is taken to is Altamonte, right, in Italy. Now I'll say this: Italy is one of the places I want to. It's one of the places on my bucket list. Put it that way. I love the way a lot of the stuff there is designed. I like the way the buildings look. I like the idea of the cobbles. And this place is no different. I was reading the credits and I'm going to look on the map to see where these places that they shot on location in Italy are. But it's some really like small town feel places, but right on the ocean, steep cliffs and caves and shit like that. Houses built right into it. Like, this looks beautiful. This looks beautiful. Not a touristy place. I mean, to me, looking at it, it reminds me of like Tiburon in Northern California. Little cove city. Not a lot of nice houses on the hill and stuff like that, made out of stucco and wood and all kinds of shit. But you can go down there and chill. It's just nice. That's what it reminded me of. This place where they were calling. I don't know if it's a real place or not, but Altamonte. So Robert McCall ends up getting patched up here in this town by the local doctor, and the local doctor doesn't tell anybody that he's there. I mean, he understands what it is as soon as he sees him on the table and tells the person who picked him up, who happens to be a cop, guy fell. You understand? He fell. Even though he's taking a bullet out his back, dude fell. That's what happened. Okay. And they agree and they go on with it. So the doctor there, Enzo, actually takes care of Robert, and patches him up and lets him stay there. And this is where you get Robert McCall being in this town and getting to know these people for a few weeks. To me, it sounds like an awesome fucking vacation. Looking at it, it looks like an awesome vacation. Like, all the stairs might be a pain in the ass, but there's one way to get your ass in shape. I'm just saying, you have to. So, Robert McCall being in this town, he starts learning the people and then learning what goes on here and how there's a little gang of hooligans who cut rolls into town on motorcycles and extorts money out of the shopkeepers and stuff. And he is slowly pulled back into doing what he doesn't want to do because over the weeks that he's been in this place recuperating and healing, he's kind of fallen in love with these people in this place. It's a very simple place. Everybody knows each other. There's kids, there's elderly. Everybody's just there chilling, living their lives, going about they damn day, right? And at a point, after a point, they actually welcome him in as well as being like, "Oh yeah, you're one of us. You're cool." Now, for me, a black man, I like the idea of that. I like the idea that you could go to another country somewhere and be in some town or city or whatever have you for a few weeks and people would just be cool with you. It's no bullshit. Nobody's fucking with you. That you can just be a human being and exist. Even if you don't even look like the rest of them, they ain't worried about that shit. As long as you ain't here on no bullshit, nobody cares. Hey, how you doing? Take it easy when you're walking up them stairs. Because we know you hurt, but Enzo said you cool, so we know you good. I like the idea of that. Because one of the things he did here is what Robert McCall does wherever he's at. He has a high level OCD, like he might be on the spectrum. What does he do? He sits down, he has his spoon, he has his cloth, and stuff like that. He will drink his tea. Now, the only thing they left out, they missed in this one was his book. He forgot his book. He didn't have a book he was reading. But I like the fact that you can be somewhere and just exist and it be fine. No drama, no grief. There was only one person that kind of moved away from him when he first came there and sat down. And from my American Western eyes, say the bitch was racist. Could have just been he's a stranger. Could have just been that. But I don't know. I like the idea of that. So the whole him being there that whole time and people just, being indifferent to him seemed like a bit of peace to me as well. So hearing the character talk about he found some peace, the people are nice here. They're good people. And he just wants it to remain peaceful there because he's found something for himself, a bit of peace somewhere. It made me remember Rambo Last Blood and how that's how I felt watching Rambo Last Blood. Is that even by the end of the movie, I felt so bad for John Rambo because it's like this man can never have peace. He can never just have peace. Yes, he is a scarily proficient fucking killer, a soldier. He just served his country well, distinguished. He just can't have peace though. Somebody is always around to draw that fucking demon right back out of him. And he will go to the hilt with that shit. And then still try to, you know, Can I just live life? You know, and that's what I was getting from this Equalizer watching this character. That this character actually deserved this. Just from two other movies, what we know that he's been through in two other movies and what we've gotten to know about his backstory and whatnot. Yeah, I would like to see him have some peace. Just like I would have liked to see John Wick have some peace. I would. I don't have a problem with that. That's it's not gonna make me hate the character if the character just was able to kick back, put his feet up and have a drink. No. I'd actually like that. Because for how they went about things, why they did things, I think it would be deserving. So in this town, he does befriend some other people, and one of the people in here is fucking fine as hell. Oh my god, this woman named Amanisha, Amina, Aminah, Amina is the character's name. Motherfucker, bruh, she is fine. This woman came onto the screen. She's a brown skinned woman. Pretty eyes, nice smile, good looking skin, hair. She keeps messing with Robert the whole time he's there. She little jabs and stuff like that, little playful stuff. She's curious about him. This is an actress I have never seen before, which is Gia Solacoro or something like that. Bro, she is fucking funny. She is fine as hell. I was sitting there watching the movie like, oh shit. Like I felt some kind of way. Because and she speaks with this Italian accent, which is fucking sexy as hell to me. I already told you I like Italians. Now this will sound stupid as hell for me to say. Even I believe it sounds stupid for me to say because I'm a pretty educated dude. I didn't know they had them dark skinned Italians over there. Not no black looking ones. She is. I looked it up. I looked her. I googled her ass at dinner after the movie. She is Italian born and raised. That is her real accent. And I'm like, it's a sister. It's a sister that speaks Italian. Like, they have those over there? Really? What? Shout out to the angry man. What? Oh my God. I definitely got to go. I need to see one of those. That's like a unicorn. Look, Dr. T, look, you jumping ahead of me, homie. Yes. That was, look, let me see if I can turn this camera on so y'all can see my fucking face when I say this shit. How she talked to him and just start asking him questions. That was the most beautiful shit in the whole movie. I was like, that is holy shit. A black man having a woman take interest in him, be polite and cordial with him and curious about him. Like, who cooks for you? Why do you do that? Who cooks for you when you're back in the States? Who cooks for you? That's what I've heard about why passport bros or whatever people go abroad to find women abroad for shit like that because they actually know how to talk to you and be interested in you. It's not anything that you're trying to, tap dance and make them kind of like you. I was like, oh my God, is this what? Oh my, I'm in love. I'm sitting there thinking about myself like, who cooks for me? Nigga, I need to go there. That's why I said. So I told you, Dr. T, I'm moving. Don't let me go to Italy and find some brown skinned Italian speaking light eyes, good hair chick over there. Oh my God, I will stay, nigga. I will stay. Call me Antonio. I will stay. But that's what she did. She offered to cook. I will cook you something. And I was like, what? What? Shout out to the angry man. That's what I was like. I was like, oh my God. She said, I want to cook for you. I'm going to cook for you tonight. I was like, nigga, can I cook for you? I'm like, yes, yes. She wasn't even asking me. It's a line in the movie. But I was like, yes, yeah, you can cook whatever the fuck you want for me. And what did she tell him? What was the sexiest part about that, Dr. T? What did she tell him? Okay, I'll cook for you, but you have to wear that hat. Hat's on. I'm like, oh my God, is that how that shit goes down? Is it? I'm thinking that's a genuine line because you would have to experience something like that to be able to write something like that, I would think. Because that was just natural. And since I told you I Googled the chick, she is actually Italian. She's actually Italian. That shit was so polite but seductive. I was like, look, Robert, your wife dead, man. Your wife is dead, bro. I think she said you feel like you're supposed to be here. I think you're supposed to hit that. I think you're supposed to hit that. Signs are good. Get a magic 8 ball and shake it up and see what it says. Signs are good. Yeah, that's exactly where the hell you supposed to be, and that's who you supposed to be fucking with. That shit was that. Whew, that was a good scene. That was a good scene. I'd watch her in anything else after that shit. Like, yeah, I'm hungry too. Like, I'm hungry. The fuck. Like, so yeah, that was sexy as hell. Yeah, Dr. T, that was sexy as hell. I was loving that scene. I was like, man, put her on the screen some more. Like, because she was in there just being a woman and being feminine. No, she wasn't out there trying to kick nobody ass or nothing like that. No, she was just out there running her business and not throwing her chesticles all up around her throat talking crazy to him. No, she was just a feminine woman. That's all it was. It was a feminine woman. I was like, that was fucking beautiful, dude. He didn't even smash. She took him out, and I know it's a scene. I know it's a fucking scene. But it was a scene set really well when she actually took him out. She took him out to show him the real food of Altamonte. Nigga, they walking around to like the little street vendors, getting free food down on the beach and shit like that. So I think I'd have been trying to smash. Like for real. That was like a dream. She was smiling at everybody. She got a beautiful smile. Like, damn, I'm getting the feels on this chick right now. That's why I had to Google her when I left. I had to know her name. I was like that goddamn Saffron Hawking in Moon Knight. She showed up in Moon Knight. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Who's she? That curly hair. That little British brown skinny British chick with the act. Oh, I need to know. I need to know. That's why I know her name now. Now I got another one. Notice she didn't beat him up to prove she was better at everything he's been doing for years. She wasn't competent. She wasn't competing with him. No, she wasn't doing shit, but she was doing stuff that you would like a woman to do, and women used to do. You about the same age as I am, Dr. T. You remember when girls used to mess with you like that? Just playfully mess with you like that. Oh, so and so finally sold that hat. That's good. No, you don't look at the fish like that. You look to see their eyes, if the gills are red or the gills are pink. She's just messing with him, but she's showing that she's interested in him. Subtle shit. And then she bounced out and went about her day. But she let him know when she came in, hey, yeah, I'm here. I see you. I'm peeping. Catch you later. I'm like, God damn, boy, that was sexy. She didn't have her titties all hanging out. Her butt wasn't out there. She wasn't up there talking crazy to him, man spreading and all the rest of that goofy shit that I saw in that Blue Beetle movie. That bothered the hell out of me. I didn't even mention that shit. No, she was being a feminine woman. Fit, feminine, and friendly. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. That's exactly what the fuck she was. And that's when she came on the screen. I was like, oh, goddamn. Felt some kind of way. No insult, no disrespect as a form of flirtation. No, none of that Klingon war dance, love dance shit. None of that. It was none of that. She just engaged him in conversation. I'm like, dude, I miss that shit. I really do miss that kind of shit. I really do. I miss that kind of shit. That is not where we are now. Everything is a game. Everything is a competition, a dick measuring contest with somebody who ain't got a dick. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Ugh. So, yeah, that, look, one of the best parts of the damn movie. The best parts of the movie. And you know what? When the bad guy showed up and it was time to fight, she wasn't out there trying to kick nobody's ass either. Hated Jamie's sister in Blue Beetle. It wasn't even that in Blue Beetle. You know what got me that pissed me off in Blue Beetle? Outside of his sister in the beginning? Because I already talked about her ass. The Cord daughter. When they introduced her at the office, she was sitting in that office with her legs spread like she had a dick. Sitting in a suit in them high heels on the couch with her legs spread all open like she got 4 pounds of balls sitting between her legs. I'm like, the fuck is this shit? Women spreading? What is this? This goofy shit. I'm like, that shit was so unattractive. And she's a pretty woman. She is a pretty woman, pretty Latina woman, right? That shit pissed me off. I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is that? That made it into my notes. It just didn't make it into my reaction. But it made it into my notes, like, what is this man spread and shit? You got an enlarged clit? What the fuck? That's so stupid, dude. That was so unattractive. That was the most unattractive thing they had her doing. Instead of wearing them ridiculous fucking shoes. Yeah, like you said before, Dr. D, I want to be a man so bad. Man, so I don't know why you want to be a man so bad. You want these same problems? You want these same problems? Well, you better stay on your side of the fence where you can get taken care of your whole life just from some dude finding you. Only creature on this planet could do nothing in life ever. Some dude that worked his ass off forever see you fall in love. He'll take care of you for the rest of your life, and you ain't had to do shit for it. But you reverse that shit. Nigga, down on your luck, you just a waiter. Too fucking bad. You'll never find some billionaire chick that want to snatch you up from being a waiter. No. Not never. Forget that shit. You better get on your grind. She'd never look at your ass. Except to say, why are you talking to me? Yeah, bring me my check. So, beyond that, to get back to the movie and how fine this chick was. Oh, yeah, Dr. T, I'm following her on Instagram now. Her pictures, look, she ain't got no ugly pictures either. She ain't got no ugly pictures. Even her silhouette picture looked like, ooh, shit. I need to go over to Italy. I need to go to Italy. I need to go look around. I gotta look around. Fuck she hiding at. But as it happens, when Robert ends up seeing these ruffians in there extorting these people, he tries to stay out of it. He tries to stay out of it for a while. He lets what's happening there happen, even though Enzo, the doctor, gives him the game about some of the stuff that happens around there. He doesn't get himself involved until it finally gets down to the scene that you saw in the trailer where he is gone messed the leader of these little ruffians, hand up in the restaurant. And that scene was another way for you to understand that there's a lot of people in this world you're not supposed to mess with. You don't know who the hell you're dealing with. You never freaking know. My thinking, one black dude, one American, sitting in a room full of Italian people by himself at a table. He don't look like a goddamn tourist. He dressed it all black. And you doing some grimy shit to somebody and look over and he looking you right in his eyes. That's probably not the dude you need to be fucking with. Probably not. Because he is too calm about this shit. Too calm. That is not the dude you need to be trying to, test your nuts on. I don't think so. That's probably not the one. It's probably not the one. Now, the leader of these ruffians, I'm forgetting what his name was. He is connected to somebody, and the person he's connected to is his brother, Vincent. And I can't remember his name because it was Italian. It was some Dura Santa or something like that. And Vincent's brother, or sounds like his name wasn't fucking Anthony. This fucking punk's name. Anyway, Vincent is like a crime boss. He is like a head of a mafia family, which wants this little town of Altamonte. He wants that town, and he sends his brother and his brother's little goon squad in there to extort these people or try to get them out of there so he can buy up that land and turn it into casinos and motels and shit like that. He has big real estate plans for this area. And when you meet this dude, Vincent, you see Vincent is a cold piece of work. His crew is just like his brother's crew, but they more seasoned. Okay, it's like ex-military and some straight up hitters. They do some grimy shit to let you know that they are not the people to mess with. They got on some nice suits, they got some nice cars. These are some stone cold killers. For real. If Vincent is no different. There's one scene in this. He's sitting in the chair talking to the police chief. And it's at his brother's funeral. He's sitting in this chair. He reminded me of Morpheus in the Sandman show. Because that motherfucker is sitting so still. He looks like the damn devil sitting in that chair. And the scene is so cold. What's being said and transpiring is like, he already told you he didn't feel like hearing this shit today. That this was not the time. He already told you. But this dude keeps pressing and wanting to get, slippity at the lip. Man, that motherfucker's playing that scene so cold. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker about to explode. He is about to explode. He is going to go. He is about to go nuts because you already seen it earlier that he can go. There's something else. You got to see the scene. The scene is really messed up. It's really messed up. Well, look, you get what you get. He told you. He told you it wasn't the time. You pressed it. He showed you. You probably should have waited. It wasn't the time. God dang, it's some cold shit. Cold shit. Anyway, be that as it may, this is getting kind of long, but because of the interactions of Vincent's younger brother in his town, eventually Robert McCall is actually pulled in back into timing people out, if you like it that way. And I like the pacing of it. I like the takeouts, the kills in this. Some of it was some Agent 47 stuff. Like, if you ever played the Hitman game on Sony, this was some Agent 47 shit. Just like some silent assassin stuff. No big shootouts, none of that, gun fu, none of that, none of that John Wick shit. It was some straight, silent, efficient kills in this shit. That you don't have to see Denzel doing a lot of it in camera, which is fine. He older. I don't need to see him jumping off of shit. But I tell you, there's one part of this, it is like a horror movie. It is like a horror movie. That Robert McCall character is like the fucking Candyman showing up. I'm serious. It was like straight horror movie time. Like, is this Jason? Is this Friday the 13th Equalizer? Equalizer the 13th? What the hell, dude? This got straight horror movie in inflections in it. Like, so shout out to Antoine Fuqua for that, because I forgot what kind of movie I was watching for a minute. That went down. I was like, this is straight horror movie shit. Like, damn, this motherfucker just damn. But I liked it. It was a good movie, a good different feel, a good even tone throughout it. And although it has action, the action is not the main stage piece of the story. The story is about this man finding a place where he could be comfortable and stop doing what he has been doing. And he feels peace there, so he wants to protect that place. And through protecting that place, he finds out it was connected to the other things that he was doing earlier. And I was like, well, that's a good tie-up. And then you find out why the hell he was in Sicily. You find out what Altamonte means. And you find out why he wants to stay there, why he is willing to go up against these criminals to stay there, because peace for him is all he has. That's what he hasn't had since his wife passed. He has not had peace. But he finally found some place, in the Lincoln Park, somewhere he belongs, and he feels peace there. He's willing, to kill some folks about that shit. For real. For real. And it's just one little place. It might not mean shit to anybody else. Not a thing to anybody else. But it means something to him. And because it means something to him, he will defend it. And that's what I like. And that's what I like. And the people support him in doing that. So that's it. Um, Equalizer 3. I enjoyed it. I could see it again. I could. I probably won't, but I could see it again if I wanted to. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Thank you guys for coming through on a late night. I just wanted to get this in before I got back in here and tried to get some rest. It's 11:36 on the West Coast on Friday, so I'm going to steal me some sleep while I can before the morning gets here and people are calling. So